Okay, so I want to put this out there. There's something a little different in the morning reflection. I want to talk about cancel culture, and that's because cancel culture has a huge issue as far as in our society right now. And the reason this is hitting me is because, one, I'm thinking about how I never want to forget Donna. I never want to forget any loved one. And that's a person who's dead. And cancel culture is looking at this idea of actually forgetting somebody, erasing somebody who's actually alive. And so let's back up a little bit. If you were to participate in a boycott, I would say that, I'm not going to follow something, I'm not going to buy a certain product, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. But if they change, if they fix something, whether it was ethics, pricing, whatever it was, I would then go back to them. You see, there's hope of redemption in a boycott. But when I look at cancel culture, I'm basically saying that it's done. It's over. There's nothing more I'm going to do with them. I'm now going to cancel them out and take them out of the picture. This does a number of things for us that makes it completely incompatible with Christian teaching. The first one is that is this level of unforgiveness. So we think that we're going to tear this person down and we are going to erase them per se, right, from existence, which never happens. But in our global social media kind of environment, we can have a huge impact on a person. But as we do that, we're basically saying there's no opportunity for redemption for that person. And then, so in that, I'm going to have unforgiveness for them. I'm going to harbor unforgiveness. So the person suffering is the person that wants to cancel the person. So this is the first incompatibility. The second one is the eighth commandment. The eighth commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor. And so, yeah, that's about lying, but it's also about the sin of detraction, to remove, devalue, lower, right? So all of a sudden, you're going to take a person, a neighbor, a friend, an enemy, right? Whatever it is, but you're going to take a human being, someone who God loves and who you've been asked to love, and you're going to take that person and you're going to drag them through the dirt. You're going to take their dignity down. You're going to take everything down with it for this whole idea of cancel culture. And in doing so, we now are committing that sin of detraction. And then we publish it at a global scale and participate in a bigger version of it. And so here's the two problems. One, Commandment 8. Two, harboring unforgiveness. This is completely incompatible with anyone that follows Christ, anyone that follows the Golden Rule, anyone that really believes in human dignity in general, and how important people are and how much we should value people, not deconstructing people. And if you've ever lost a loved one, you know that you don't want to forget someone. And I just remember from the Book of Life movie, it's on Disney Plus right now, and that whole thing about the Mexican Day of the Dead and the celebration. And so you've got the whole land of the dead, and everybody's remembered, and they're celebrating, and it's always a party because they're remembered. But below that was this land of the forgotten. And as someone was forgotten, so they've died, and then they were forgotten, they were really dead. Well, we don't want that to happen in our mourning. Let alone do we want that to happen in an everyday life situation. So I'm just really putting it out there, and I'm calling out to Christians, to human beings, to decent people, right? This is not a great way for us to respond and react. We can find other ways to come to terms with things we are in disagreement with, but even more so, we can find more ways to do more powerful things when we do it in love, with love. Let's not forget anybody, alive or dead. Let's let it be full of love so that we can do more in this world.